Have you ever wondered why it's darkest before the dawn? It's a question that carries more weight than one might initially think. You see, darkness, in this context, is a metaphor for the challenging, often tumultuous times we all face in our lives. It's the trials and tribulations, the hardships and the heartbreaks. But what if we told you that these dark times are not only necessary, but they're instrumental in shaping successful individuals? In the grand tapestry of life, it's these dark threads that add depth, dimension, and ultimately beauty. It's not the sunny days, but the stormy nights that forge resilience, tenacity, and an unyielding spirit. Consider, if you will, the story of a successful individual. Their narrative doesn't start at the pinnacle of their achievements. No, it begins somewhere far less glamorous. It begins in the shadows, in the midst of adversity and struggle. Our protagonist's story starts not at the peak of success, but in the depths of despair. Our protagonist found themselves in the inky blackness of adversity, but instead of floundering, they chose to embrace it. This was a world where challenges were as common as breaths, where difficulties were as persistent as the ticking of a clock. Yet, instead of shying away, our protagonist chose to face them head-on. Each challenge became a lesson, each difficulty a stepping stone. They discovered that adversity wasn't just a storm to weather, but a forge for resilience. They learned that failures weren't the end, but the beginning of new opportunities. With every fall, they rose stronger. With every setback, they pushed further. Every night brought a new challenge, a new lesson. But they didn't just survive the night, they thrived in it. The darkness became their canvas, the challenges their paint, and every stroke was a step closer to their masterpiece of success. In the heart of darkness, they found not just despair, but a spark of determination. As dawn broke, our protagonist emerged from the darkness, stronger and more resilient. They had journeyed through the night, wrestling with adversity and confronting despair. Yet it was this very struggle that honed their strength, sharpened their resolve, and forged their character. Their success was not an overnight phenomenon, but a dawn that arrived after the longest night. It was not the fruit of chance, but the yield of endurance. It was not born out of comfort, but out of confrontation with the uncomfortable. Through their journey, they learned crucial lessons: that every challenge is an opportunity for growth, that every setback is a setup for a comeback, that every darkness carries within it the promise of a dawn. They used their experience not as a trophy of triumph, but as a beacon to guide others. They turned their struggle into strength, their pain into power, their darkness into dawn. In the end, it was the darkness that illuminated their path to success. So, what can we learn from our protagonist's journey from darkness to light? Crucially, we've seen the significance of embracing challenges, learning from adversity, and using these experiences as stepping stones towards success. Remember, it's often in our darkest hours that we find our greatest strengths and pave the way for our brightest successes.